So anyone listening, you know your industry, you know what you're supposed to be doing, you know your talk tracks, you know all of those things. It's the stuff in between. And that's what we created, and that's what I was missing that got me really excited again. It's the, how do you do this? How do you follow up to actually have success instead of picking up the phone and not having any intentional plan of what you're going to say or how you're going to say it? There's a big difference from intent to impact a lot of the times when we speak. So those types of things, really finding that micro moment in between all the stuff to really have that success. And then that is just your 1% lift of what you're already doing. We're never going to change the whole thing. You are the expert. We're looking for that 1% lift or rise always. And so that's in those hows. And that's the really hard part that a lot of people don't talk about. It's like, oh, just call them again, or just follow up, or, make some cold calls, or stop by here and, drop off donuts, whatever that is. Well, yes, we can be moving constantly, but is that actually worth anything and your time? So that's really what the base of the book is. I start with micro moments in my own life. My dad was a moment maker, literally, my entire life growing up. So he would plan and intentionally do these really fun things that were really kind of outside of the box, but were hyper intentional. So for example, we had a baseball team, a farm team for the Cincinnati Reds where I grew up. And when it was off season or when they were away, we would go get ice cream and then go park behind left field, just on a street. And then he'd turn on the radio in the car. So I'm dating myself totally now, but in the car, a baseball game, usually Yankees, because that's the team that we loved growing up. And we would sit and talk and listen to baseball when I was, 7. So those were really intentional. So those types of things stick. And they still stick today when we're interacting in business, when we're interacting with somebody in a grocery store and we just happen to make their day. Those types of things are those micro moments that we actually can create more of. The way to do that, though, is to be a lot more present and intentional. So it starts with that. And then we have a methodology behind it that really supports the reader and supports the person starting to put this into practice. So it's the BREW Method, and the B stands for be the moment. So really start owning the moment. Recognize that it's your presence, that you are here, it's intentional. And then we're going to raise your confidence. So there's lots of nuances in that. Confidence can be a lot of different things. That could be supporting and raising confidence in others or yourself. And then we're going to engage. So all of those engage tips and tricks and all of those little micro moments in between. And then the last one is the W, which is what about the stuff? There's always going to be stuff that comes at you. There's always going to be an angle that you weren't expecting. So how are you going to handle that? And that goes back to the rest of them. The more you practice those things, the more you will be much more equipped to handle when things go a bit sideways.